CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN.
Guys, the chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to go over kind of a bit of a, how do you call it? Theory crafting, or essentially, we're going to go over the starting tech path of Season 21, what I think is going to be the meta and everything like that. So if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, make sure you leave them down below. I think it's pretty straightforward this season, but, you know, we'll see how the meta develops. I think the first early unlocks and steps are kind of already, you know, they're pretty straightforward, but we'll go over them again just so you guys know and hopefully keep as many people from making mistakes as possible. I find these videos very important because, you know, it's so important to get off to a good start in Warships to have fun for the rest of the season. Because it sucks when you come out and you just get, you know, whether you're too excited or, you know, whether you just don't know and you make the wrong decision, it can really just put a damper on your whole season, and it just makes it a lot more, I know you guys hate when I say this, it makes it a lot more grindier than it needs to be. So we're going to try to get everyone sorted, and guys, if you find this helpful, I do appreciate it if you use the code CHICK in the shop. You're going to pick up any instant training or anything like that for the season. It does help to support me and the Boom Beach community. You know, if you use somebody's code in general, it helps us out. So that being said, let's get into it. Oh, also, join the Discord server. We're going to have a tech tree path planner kind of, if you want to see basically what I'm saying in image form, it's going to be in my Discord today, so make sure you check that out. Link is in the video description. All right, so let's get into it. Now, right off the bat, so here's what we start with. We actually start with Zukas. So the most important thing off the start is managing your keys and your tokens appropriately. So here's basically how we want to go about this. Now, I've already got stuff unlocked, but it doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to that. Just pay attention to what I'm saying about where we want to go here. So we want to get Zukas. We want to max them out. We can do that right now. We want to max out the Zukas. We do want to grab the building health. It's not on the path to the third engine, but most people are going to have enough keys to grab the building health and still get to 3 engines, probably right off the bat. And if not, you know, just grind out a couple chests with heavies and Zukas, which should be very easy. We don't have flares, but it should still be very easy without them. And then we want to go ahead to 3. Now, I think this season what's going to be most important is going to be simply defense. I think base riding is going to be huge, especially for those of us, the chicken included, that didn't get like a spectacular finish last season. Like, you know, if you finished like high 25, top 500, legendary, you know, around there, it's kind of a different thing. Like, it's kind of a different path for those guys because they kind of want to rush. They have so many starting keys. They can really just, like, rush ahead, like, over here and, you know, grab whatever that effective tech is, you know, whether it's rocket launchers, you know, doom cannon. Well, there's not really much right there. Bullet, you know, for example, something like that. For the rest of us, we kind of have to be a little bit more slow and methodical in our approach. And I think that's going to be grab all the defenses here. I think we want to grab flamethrowers. We got a multi-node on the way. So if we can turn those into max flamethrowers, that is 7 max flamethrowers right off the bat before 3 engines. And that's going against heavies and Zukas that do not have flares to help them out. So that's going to be huge. Riflemen, I would stay away from. I mean, like I just said, we've got 7 flamethrowers. We've got machine guns. You know, we've got mortars super early, auto unlocked. There's a ton of splash damage, and there's an early building health. So riflemen are just gonna get roasted right off the start. I don't think we have heavies and Zukas. There's no need to get riflemen right now. The only need that we would get riflemen, the only thing that riflemen are gonna help with is down the line once we get Kavan, because I think Kavan is gonna be a pretty important hero this season. His second win generates riflemen, so if you max out your rifleman tech node, then it's going to mean that the rifleman Kavan spawns randomly, or with his second win rather, they're going to be max level. So it's important for that, but that's about it. Definitely not important off the start. So then, you know, on the first day, where most of us are probably going to get to the 3rd engine and then start to move forward from there. So this is where it gets a little bit dicey. So let's just kind of go over what we have here first. So we have Troop Health, we have Everspark, we have Boom Cannons, we have Flares, we have Boom Mines, and then we have a multi-node here. Now, this multi-node only gives 1 boom cannon instead of 2. There's another multi-node later on that gives 2 boom cannons. Aside from last season, we've never seen a multi-node give 2 boom cannons, so it's kind of strange. I guess they're mixed in now. But yeah, so what we want to do as soon as we get to 3 is we want to get to flares. Flares are going to help us out. That means we can switch from using heavies and Zookas to heavy rushing. Now, what's important is depending on the keys that you have, it might not be worth upgrading the Zookas because we might not be using them if we can simply be heavy rushing instead. Heavy rushing is typically faster than just kind of using Zookas in like a spread out sort of fashion where they just kind of split and take down the base from 2 different angles. So we want to get to flares and we want to start heavy rushing. So I think flares are going to be the most important after the 3rd engine. We also get troop health, which is going to be great for the heavies. And, you know, we also have boom mines. So if we go back here, we have regular mines maxed. We have early boom mines, and we have the potential to get 8 other regular mines. So that being said, what I just said about heavy rushing, it's going to be hampered by the mines for sure. Because, I mean, we've got, think about it. We've got mortars, machine guns, flamethrowers, extra flamethrowers, and extra mines. So it's not to say that heavy rushing won't be a thing. It typically is. But I could see some really strong anti-heavy rush bases being made. So again, you know, we kind of want to wait on that. So basically what I would do is I would just not max out Zookas off the start. And I would pour those points into your other defenses. Because this season, like I said at the start, is going to be all about defense. There's so many great defenses. There's tons of great prototype defenses. There's not as, you know, there's a lot of offensive things you can do. But I really feel like the base riding guys are really going to pay off. Are really going to be able to have a better chance. Because, like, if we look at this, you know, the tech riders, what are they getting? They're getting more defense, right? So the offense more or less stays the same. Like, there's a couple things between 3 and 4 that are going to help out. You know, mainly bullet, extra GBE, flares are going to be huge. I would not go with Everspark. Everspark's typically not the best hero. She could be good because Everspark's kind of a good defensive hero when you think about it because she spawns critters and she's, you know, good to keep stuff alive. But for 42 keys, I can't justify that with her passive critter abilities or her critter swarm. I feel like that's not going to be worth the value, especially when we already have, you know, heavies and Zookas. That's a pretty strong attack meta that doesn't necessarily need a hero, especially at 3 or 4 engines where, you know, we do have a lot of defenses and they're going to be good, but I don't know if Everspark is going to be warranted right there, especially that early. So, and we need a lot of keys. Like, we got to push through. We got to get these prototypes. They make these prototype troops required, which I really don't like. I hate when they do that, when they make the tech tree, and they put these just kind of key vacuums, like these tech nodes that provide no value, and they suck up so many keys. It's very annoying to me, but you know, it is what it is. We gotta play with what we're dealt. So, yeah. So I think getting to flares, get your troop health. I think getting your mines is gonna be really important. I would honestly even consider going for this this multi-node right here. You know, I know we want to get out of 4 and get out of 3 and get up to 4 as quickly as possible. Because yeah, I mean, if we're doing things optimally, I would go for troop health. I would grab your flare. And then we're probably just pushing straight ahead to bombers because bombers are going to beat heavies and Zookas for sure in the long run, especially once we get up to 4 engines. It's going to be a little bit harder to use heavies and Zookas, again, especially because we have so many defenses this season. It's going to be a really strong defensive meta, like right out of the gate. So, and all those defenses, you know, aside from the boom cannons, you know, the bombers can outrange all of them. They can basically outrange everything, right? So, as soon as we get to those, that's where we're going to be kind of laughing. So it's like, even though we're using heavies and Zookas off the start, we don't necessarily want to kind of unlock all of our stuff around that because we're going to switch to heavies and bombers pretty quickly. Like, at least within the first 3 or 4 days, most people are going to be able to get up to bombers. And then, you know, there's a lot to get into after that, but we'll save that for another video. But yeah, so I hope this helps you guys out in getting started on your season. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we are going to be going live on Monday morning at, I believe it's 4 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, by the time this comes out, almost 22 hours by the time you're seeing this video, if you're watching when it first comes out. But Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, I'm really excited about the season because it's very different. This is what I mentioned in some of my videos before, that it's not necessarily the new stuff in the Warship season that makes it exciting. It's the placement of things in the tech tree, and this is a really interesting tech tree, especially with no flares off the start and a lot of defenses. I really like that, so I think my plan is going to be just straight base building, lots of defense, lots of building health, and yeah, we'll try to get that working for us. But guys, I hope that helps you out. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next one, guys. Check it out. Back.